This
right.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we are now recorded. As you saw, I'm getting a lot of late information. One of the groups is betting right before each and every of these UFC fights. So far, they're 2-0 with Edwards pending. And as we're doing the chat, I'll keep checking before the fights. If they fire again, I'll share that information. And also, across my screen, as I am doing this chat, the groups that I am moving for will be firing. I will be able to see that and share that with you immediately. My advice, again, have your screens up, your odds screens up, preferably the Wager Talk screen, and your books already logged in and ready to go on college football and the added games. I personally have tabs wide open. I'll have first halves up, second, whatever I can open with constantly refreshing so that those are ready to fire. Again, don't panic. I don't want to overwhelm you. As the weeks go by mid-season, you'll all be seasoned vets. You'll be understanding what's happening on the trading floor live. You'll understand what all these winning groups are doing. You'll see the lines move instantaneously. So you'll see the actual market taking place. You'll witness it for the biggest days that there are: Saturday college football, Sunday NFL. So get ready for that. And that's why I was spent so much time doing our exercises when it was slower, because I knew when football comes, we will not have too much time to go over what is actually most important, and that's our money management. Without proper bet sizing, there's no possible way to win. I don't want to kill a lot of time going over that today, because again, we have to get in shape for next week. This is kind of our preseason, because these lines have been up for months. So most of the value's been extracted. As you could see, we placed most of our bets for Saturday weeks ago, days ago. Well, we got to move in today. We'll find a little play here or there, but I'm not forced. I don't have any pressure on me to sell picks. The only pressure I have on me is to win. I don't have to come up with a big play. I don't have to come up with marketing and find some kind of hot streak that sounds good that I could push, whether it's hot on this, hot on that, on these games, on those games. Oh man, God damn, we lost that one. What are you gonna do? All right, when we were on the sharp side, that's all you could ask for. What did that line close? Where did she go? Why can't I find that line? Sorry, just give me 1 second. I got to know where this line closed. It's very, all right, oh, there it is, down here, that's why. Oh, wow, okay. It didn't get the 150, so it did have some resistance. Anyway, besides the point, that's the first loser is the one that was actually a premium play. That Reese McKee, they are on. I'm just telling you right now, the Reese McKee side is the steam side. I know we're on the other side. I'm honest with you guys always. They're taking Reese McKee's all the way down to plus 115 right now. So we're kind of stuck. You can't really scalp that. You know, you got minus 170 here. Plus, even if we could get plus 120 there, we're giving up just way too much. I mean, the most we could possibly do is minimize damage by, you know, maybe putting a unit on Reese McKee. Again, sometimes trying to get out ahead of the market, that is going to happen, where sometimes another sharp group comes in on the other side. It doesn't mean Reese McKee's going to win. They just had Edwards and she didn't come through. But I'm going to share as much actionable, sharp information with you guys, especially throughout these live chats. And I chose this time, not by accident, it was by design, because I knew everything will be going on at once. So we're going to have to get used to this. And I want you to be able to take advantage of the information, not have it hurt you, like not have you throw in bets that maybe aren't right or aren't strong, or just because you want to make a trade because I'm sharing the information. My advice is watch it all, soak it all in, see what I'm doing, see what the groups I'm working with are doing, see what the other winners we have access to are doing. And your job is to gather all the information you possibly can and get good at analyzing it. As we always do, we have to rewind. So we're going to do that real quick because, again, we will have nothing but actionable information throughout this chat. And like I said, in this next fight, we are on the favorite, and there is resistance right now. As you could see, the screen's probably lighting up on the Reese McKee side as the betting syndicate, now a second group, is also taking the Reese McKee side. So you'll see that one go all the way down to like plus 110. If it was a bad bet, loose is a bad bet. That's just me being honest. Obviously now the betting market reflects that. I tell you when I win, I tell you when I lose. If Lusa gets the job done, I'll be happy. Obviously, I have a bet on him. 3% you saw, stuck with 3% in MMA. We got to get winning. Even the groups I'm working with are down for the year. Both of them. I work with 2 MMA groups, and both of them are actually down for the year. One of them, but now both of them are on the Reese McKee side. Obviously, we got down earlier on the Lusa side. I can also tell you the under. The under is very sharp, under 2.5. The under was at plus 130. It's now down to plus 105. I moved that for one of those 2 groups that I work with. Obviously, it wasn't on my radar. That's why I didn't send it out as a premium play to subscribers, but I did bet it. I bet it equal to a 3% play. So I do have the under at plus money, under 2.5 in this fight, in the Lusa fight. Okay, it hasn't started yet. Again, I'm paying attention to the screen, so I'm not really looking. Going to be watching the fight. You guys will tell me what's going on there. So let me get back to what matters most, and that's the rewind. Like I say, I don't check until we come to the chat because I don't need to promote units. So I'm not looking for my hot streak over the last 3-7 days. I'm looking for the long-term results and working with partnering up with people like you that are in this chat because you want to win long-term. And I hope you can feel it because I hope you see the excitement. The turn's here. Like once you hit almost capitulation where you're like, fuck, we're at the bottom right now. And I'm already seeing the market turning, and not telling you we're going to pick up 100 units in the next 10 days. But what I am telling you is the worst is definitely over. I could just tell by the results of late, and more importantly, what the lines have done on our bets and the box scores afterwards, confirming we're on the right sides of pretty much most of these plays of late. Again, you got to go back and always judge yourself honestly. And like I said, I think we hit capitulation, which is a good thing. I'm sure a couple people lost more than they should have. I'm sure a couple people dropped off because they got overwhelmed. They bet a little more than they should, or they were underfunded, or they just may not have that patience for long-term results. Not everyone's built for this. Most people want instant gratification, instant gains, and that's why cappers, even in 2023, are able to sell big plays without backing it up with any kind of long-term results. Meaning if a capper could tell you he's hot over the last 5 days, there's people that'll buy it because of that. A capper can tell you he's up so far in college football, even though we're only in week 1 and it was week 0. There are bettors out there that'll buy because of that someone's 5-0 in college football already. Like that means absolutely anything. Because again, if you can ask that same capper, all right, that's awesome. You killed it the last 5 bets. Can I get your last 500 college football? Can you pull those up for me? Again, that's the goal. Our goals are aligned, and that's why we don't fall for that kind of nonsense. So let's look over results. Leaderboard. Last 3 days we don't look at because, again, those are a joke. And we're second. Like, well, am I going to promote that, really? That I'm second with a 23% ROI in 3 days, 60%? What does that even mean? It means nothing. It's throwing darts. It's so irrelevant. But the market demands it, so I can't blame the cappers. You know, the market speaks. The market decides. So if the market wants big plays, if they want hot streaks, that's what is going to be sold. We don't fall for that nonsense. We're looking further out, and it's probably not going to be pretty over the last 7 days because we had that big ugly day in the beginning of, I think last Saturday was it, that we got crushed. But since that, we bounced back a little bit because we lost 10 units in the last 7 days. At 0.25, that's 2.5 units. That's like juice because we're right there at pretty much split over the bets. So over the last 7 days, that's where we stand. Now, over the last 30 days, we had a lot to make up. So we should still be near the bottom. We were down like over 100 units in the last 30 days. So if we got that down another 10, 15, we're doing okay. And we did. We're down to 85 now over the last 30 days. And even that over a quarter, remember, 0.25 of 85 is 10, 11 units. 10, 11 units. Again, nothing to be proud about, but nothing that can't be overcome. And here's what matters most. When in doubt, you zoom out. Make sure you're doing the right things. And that's exactly what we're doing. Because as of today, going into today, number one in profit at Wager Talk. There's 30 plus cappers here, 10, 15 more at the other places. And that the numbers don't lie. I'm sure there's guys hotter than me right now. I'm sure there's guys crushing it over the last week, over the last 10 days, maybe in a particular sport. And I'm not knocking anyone. Please don't take it the wrong way. But what I'm saying is, since January 1st through last night, there's not another pick seller on this site that's turned a bigger profit. That's just the truth. And we sit close to 190 units still. And let's do our bankroll because we got to keep it real. So I start out with a $10,000 bankroll, means I'm betting $25 per unit. 1%, $25, 2%, 50, 3%, 75, 4%, 100, 5%, 125. Flat betting on underdogs, 125, and I'm betting to win 125 on the favorite because my results that I show and put out add the juice. The juice is included. I don't skim on that. So if you started with your $10,000 bankroll, where you stand right now, hold on, times 25 at $4,800. Again, that's on 10 grand. So near that 50% mark. We did the chop from last week. That's just the truth. Again, I have to come in here every week and be accountable. And when we're getting crushed, I told you, when we're way ahead, we celebrated, and I also prepared you. And now I can tell you with certainty, this chop is good. This is good news that we've been chopping this last week, and I'm seeing the results moving in a positive direction. Very optimistic for what's ahead. And the bottom line is, with college football, NFL, and all the other sports going on simultaneously, gives us a lot of opportunities to get the best of it. And that's why you're getting soccer, you're getting tennis, you're getting those smaller markets, because all of the attention's on the NFL and college football. I get it. I want to beat those sports as well. And I'm confident when the dust settles, we will have done that. But there is no reason not to take advantage of everything else. When the baseball playoffs come along, we will look to crush those, rest assured. Okay, nothing else has come in so far except Bowling Green, Liberty under 23.5 in the second half. Bowling Green, Liberty under 23.5 in the second half. I'm going to jump in real fast and look at some accounts to see if anything else has come in. Okay, nothing through that guy. about this guy. He usually gets some good stuff. Give me a second. Yeah, see, these are all those extra games. Okay, hold on. We have tennis, live tennis. Let me pull up the line because we're going to bet this. Actually, this will be a premium play. So get your tennis up. ATP. So we're looking for ATP, not the WTA. We're looking for the men. That's the men's tennis, ATP matchups. Let me pull all my accounts too, because I got to put it in and fire simultaneously. So the lines don't move on me. Don't worry. We're all going to bet it at the same time. We're all going to get a good number. I promise you. I just have to set up my tennis account. All right. Let's get that bet number. Minus 2.5. 8208. 8208. Sinner. 8208. Sinner minus 2.5. Sinner minus 2.5. All the way up to minus 120. All the way up to minus 120. I'm laying 110 right now. Sinner minus 2.5. Sinner minus 2.5. Over Wawrinka. Over Wawrinka. That's Sinner minus 2.5 at minus 110 at minus 110. All right. Let me make sure that gets out there. One second. I'll put it up at 120, be fair. Minus 1.5, minus 120, or what, 2.5, sorry, minus 2.5. These move so fast. They move the points a lot on these. Like you'll see it go up to like 4.5, 5.5 in some places. Then you just walk away. And I need to ask a question too. I get a lot of the Division II college football, like we did yesterday with the Howard and the over. I need to know, can you guys move that stuff? Like, I don't want to send it out and have it benefit my results if you guys aren't able to get down. Like, again, I want my results to reflect yours and actually yours to be better than what I show at Wager Talk. Because the truth is mine aren't overall, you know, like I'm scalping, I'm trying some middles, even though there's stuff that's time sensitive I can't share, obviously. I still want you guys to do better than I do, if possible. But I need to know if you're able to use that stuff. I'm not getting any, and I have 7 different sports books. See, yeah, that's my problem. I think I'll just start giving that to you guys for free when we're here and not use it as a premium play, because it's not fair. Like if 75% of you could get down, then I would release them as premium plays, because it's got to be for the good of the group. Like, I can't be just for 1 or 2 people. Unfortunately, we have the majority rules, and for the good of the group, if most of the group can get these, yes, Kyle, Sinner 2.5, Sinner 2.5 up to minus 120. Again, some of these move fast. Some of the matchups, like golf matchups, tennis matchups, NASCAR matchups, move quickly. They're good, they're gold, so you want to be getting down, as you can see from long-term results. But with all that said, you also don't want to take bad numbers. Like, if you don't miss the number, let it go. I think that Howard number came close at the end, the total. Yeah, see, like I get a lot of second half. They're betting Northern Illinois team total under in the second half, under 10. Merrimack plus 23, Arkansas State plus 14, second half, like those kind of stuff. Those of you in this room will be getting live as it comes in. The stuff I just said, that was obviously, that's been sitting in accounts. But the reason I'm asking is I want to know if I should focus on that stuff days that we're not doing the chat. Because again, there'll be days where that Division II college football, and I don't want to send it out as a premium play if we're not able to use it. So for now, let's just stick with main college football, and only for the people that are attending the chat, I'll share that stuff and let you know which ones I'm betting. And maybe I'll try to tweet them. Like, see, I don't want you guys to miss some of that stuff because again, it's really good. Like those smaller markets, man, I'm telling you, are gold. Now, real quickly, let's pull up our college football so I could go over what we're looking at that we missed or are keeping near the chamber. Are you ready? Pull up your college football. Keep in mind, that's why this hasn't been a busy college football day, because these lines have been up for months. Like you saw, our bets have been placed. This is what my sheet looks like. And usually it's 5 times more stuff on it. Like look at the Saturday side. That's almost nothing. And then look at like yet those small days, how much action they're getting. Like usually the Saturday will look like that too. But those lines have been up for so long. Again, it's the public that's in a rush to bet them, and that's who's moving a lot of these lines right now. And that's why we're sitting back hoping to pick some off. But here's some of the ones that we missed that I'm still contemplating. If I could get more confirmation, maybe it's worth taking a worse number. Again, I keep it real with you guys. One of the plays that looked really strong was the Virginia Tech game, 176, Virginia Tech against Old Dominion. The problem is you got to lay 16 now. And I got down at 14 for these groups. And again, at the time I did it, I didn't have enough information for it to warrant a premium play. So that's why I don't just blindly send you guys shit. And by the time I did, this was already at 15. And I was hoping, can it come back down? But instead I saw 15 and a half and now 16. And personally, I'm probably going to leave it alone. We don't tease. We don't buy numbers unless we know what they're worth. There's very rare times in college football where it'll be worth buying a point, a half point. I will let those times be known. My advice, you could start jotting them down to start creating your own little database of what points are worth. And I also will show you the difference. Like a perfect example, here's the second play today that I'm contemplating. Game 211, Texas San Antonio against Houston, okay? At where it sits now, like if you could lay -2.5 or lay money line -130, you want to take money line -130 because the 2.5 is, I think, -134 just off the top of my head. So you're getting 4 cents better actually by taking the money line, even though you're laying 110 at 2.5 and you're laying 130 on the money line. The money line's still a better bet because -2.5 -110 is equal to a money line of -134, 135 maybe. The exponent is based on, I mean, if I adjust based on the total a little bit, shaded a certain way, but just overall, let's say that's what it's worth. I would go money line. So anyone that is looking at that Texas San Antonio bet right now, even at -2, I'm seeing you could lay 125. Wow, even 118 at penny. Yeah, you lay 125, lay the 125. That's what I'm contemplating right now, whether I'm going to make that a premium play on Texas San Antonio. These are the ones that stuck out. Still, it's Virginia Tech, it's UTSA, Where's that other? Let me make sure. And North Texas against Cal. My only concern there is it's at 5, and I could have got such a better number earlier. And more times than not, you rather just pass. Like you're better off not, even if the bet wins because it's a strong steam play, but it was at +7, +6.5. So even if they covered at 5, we're not betting from a position of strength. And you're better off waiting and getting that capital in a spot where you are getting more EV. You are getting a bigger edge. Because that's just the goal overall, over and over and over again. You want to get in the habit of letting it go if the number's not there. And we're going to do this together. Like I'm telling you, like right now, I'm on the fence with UTSA, with North Texas, with Virginia Tech. There's parts of me that does want to still get down because I historically know how much damage is done in week 1. I know how these lines are sometimes way off. And even after the move, the first and second move, there's still EV to be had up to the third, fourth move. I know that from history, and that's what's keep making it tough on me. Oh, and the last play was UMass +35.5 against Auburn. So those are the 3 plays that are in the chamber right now. The 4 plays: Virginia Tech, UMass, UTSA, and North Texas. For UMass and North Texas, well, UMass definitely will still be on the call. North Texas, it'll be borderline, probably shutting it down right around then. But if we do get down, you'll get that text. Another thing we need to look at real quickly is the baseball, because we have an afternoon game that I was just waiting for a pitching confirmation, and we are going to fire right now. I'm actually breaking the bet down to 2-unit plays. We're going to take the Washington Nationals, game 952. Washington Nationals, 2% at +1.5, -150. So that's 2% on Washington Nationals, +1.5. -150. And then we're also going to take the Nationals on the money line. Let me pick up the fairest number. 108, 110, 105, 10. Even at DraftKings, 109. You know what? Let's go 105. You could get better, but we'll go 105. Try to get those 109s, guys. That's going to help you. I'm telling you. You think it's nothing. Long term, those really help. Make sure you try to always get the best of it. Every little penny is going to help you. Every little one, I promise you. Okay. Give me a second. I just got to send that out. So we got 2% on Washington, +105. 2% on Washington, +1.5, -150. That's going out right now. While waiting for pitcher confirmation, I missed the over, got steamed as well, but it got steamed at over 9. I was leaning that way too, but at 9.5, we don't take those numbers. We just let them go. Again, we don't bet from positions of weakness. We wait for the next bet. It isn't going anywhere. Sorry, I got to send this out. And then we got a lot more things to get to, so don't you worry. And I just cannot wait till next week when it starts with the NFL. You're going to see all these props coming across. Today, I only saw 2 props. It was actually in the Michigan side. It was like a wide receiver and a running back prop, I believe it was. I didn't get down on it though. They move too fast. They move too fast. Especially in like college football, in a game like that. But on a Sunday NFL with so many props, you'll be able to get down. We'll all be able to get down. But the people that have a subscription that aren't in the room, like they won't be able to. That's why I don't send them out as premiums, because by that time it's just way too long. Like again, we do it as fast as it's possible, and you still see it takes a little bit for you guys to get to play. And you see how I try to keep it real. I'm actually betting my Washington right now. Swear on my life, I made sure you guys got it first. That's how bad I want you guys to win. Want you to win more than me. I've done this long enough. I know how this story ends for me. Like pretty much year after year, it's the same shit. It's just what the ride's going to look like. That's the only thing that changes. Like how the ride's going to go. Is it going to be a good year all the whole way? Like just chop, 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 and just suck a little bit out? Or is it going to be ups and huge downs, like swings? Can you hold on? Yeah, I'm going to have to get that. Hold on. Hello. Go ahead. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm doing the chat. Go ahead. Yeah, if he can't get -2.5, pass. Pass. If he can't find, it's -2.5. It's yes. Okay, bye. See, that's the stuff that slows me down. That's the kind of stuff that slows me down. Like, what are you going to send in and take your time to send in an email that my guy doesn't have 2.5, he's got 4. What should I do? I don't know. Bet it, or bet the other side, or don't. Like, I tell you, I could tell you what I'm betting. Sorry, I don't mean that, but this is serious business. We have a lot of money at stakes. I have time for little questions like that. What do I do? My guy has 4, you giving it a 2. Well, then find a new guy or let it go. Don't take a bad number. That's our #1 rule, baby. You already know that. All right, so we got our Washington in. I got the +1.5. I still haven't bet the fucking money. I got +110. I'm getting robbed. I'm giving you guys better numbers than myself. I swear I'm getting right now. Here, I'm putting a nickel at plus. I'm even going to show you so you know. I don't want you guys to think I'm lying. This guy, I'm going to put a nickel. Let's give this guy. Wait, he's giving me plus 110. Plus 110. Let's give him a nickel over here. That plus, I'm giving it to you guys at plus 105. Telling you, I want your results to be better than mine. I promise you. Okay. Howard was bettable. Okay. Yeah. See, a lot of guys are okay. No problem at all. No problem at all. Did Lucy get the win? Did someone say? I haven't been. I'm not watching. I'm just telling you. I'm being on. I have it over there in the background, but all right. I see that again. The sharp side isn't always the right side. But you saw how that line, if he did win, it's on the Lapalus. This is also Teller Lapalus. I saw. Let me see if these guys are betting it. So far, they're not. But I did see Lapalus. It's all favorites. These guys love their favorites, but they did bet McKee at the dog price. The earlier Lapalus did get some steam. I didn't fuck with it. I don't have much data to back it up with either of those guys. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Oh, I got to get to one question, and then I got some things to share here. Okay, someone had one question that they sent in. Hold on. Oh, someone asked, do I have a criteria or system for cashing out live wagers, or is there just too much variance to it? For live bets, personally, I bet live. I didn't used to, but it's become so lucrative from the sharp guys that I talk to that I had to start getting involved. The way I use it is this pretty much the same way I do everything else. If I see a spot, like based on what my bet is that I could lock in a profit, Sometimes I'll do that. Like I look for advantageous positions. Obviously, that's what everybody's doing. But what I'm saying is it's time sensitive. It's nothing that I would be able to share when it comes to live betting. It's so time sensitive. That's where the problem comes in as far as sharing information. My advice for live betting is use it first as a tool to maybe scalp and middle your original bets, get used to locking in profit, like just doing it for profit, like not caring who wins. I'm strictly trading. That's how I would approach it. And then I'd start looking to win in the second half and beat second half bets. But first, I would strictly use it that way to my advantage. If I have game bets, let's say I lay -7 and my team jumps out to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter. And now all of a sudden I can bet the dog at a really nice middle spot and try to limit my risk on the early bet, even though it looks like it's going to win, with the opportunity of hitting a huge middle. That way you're starting to look at it as a trader. You're not looking at it as a fan anymore. You're not caring about who wins the game or who loses. You're looking at it as, where was the opportunity to lock in a decent bet that puts me in a position of strength, and having -7 and even +14, let's say in the second half, it comes out, as a 7-point dog or favorite, and they're already down 3 touchdowns. Now you got them for the game at 14, more or less. So you got a -7 and a +14 on that. That's a position of strength. I want to do that all the time. So personally, that's how I would use the live betting. And speaking of that, I need to get this out of the way real quickly, because you got to realize this subscription isn't your normal pick selling subscription. That's why yesterday you saw me send out 1% on Stanford. The truth is, I should have sent out the whole 3% on Stanford. But because we've been cold, we haven't been winning, and we had taken such a good bet early, +8, I didn't want to give up all that equity, even though the middle was so advantageous and so nice, 2 key numbers. I wanted to try, I wanted the Hawaii side. You understand what I mean? I wanted the Hawaii +8 to be the right side. And it was a great bet at +8, regardless of outcome. It was an excellent bet. What's down them 2.5 through 7 and through 3. But during the season, rest assured, I will send out the other side for 3%. My goal is to make money. Like I told you, when December 31st comes around, my only purpose of doing this the last 365 days was for me to turn as much profit off my capital as possible, and anyone who followed along and mastered risk management with me to do the exact same. I'm not concerned about today and tonight and selling this pick and marketing it. So if I see a middle, I'm going to middle it. If I get information that conflicts an early side, I'm going to buy it back. Again, there's those times where letting it ride, sure, would have been the better move. That's not why I'm doing this. That's the gamble side. I don't care about that. Again, I don't care about the result in the short term. I care about doing the right thing. As long as I do the right thing over and over and over again, I already know the result. The result changes when I make mistakes, and that would be making a mistake. So just because a mistake turns out positive doesn't change the fact it was a mistake. And too many recreational bettors just can't separate the two. And that's why I'm telling you, this is so important, a subscription like this, where even if it's just 2 of us in here to prove There is a way to beat these books. There is valuable plus EV information available in 2023. And if I use it correctly, this will be the result. So I apologize. I get it. I know it isn't like enjoyable to get a buyback. I know it's tedious even, and it takes some work, and you got to go look for the number, and you're like, fuck, now I lost big, guaranteed. I already am a loser. It's a guaranteed loss now. You got to erase all that stuff. My mindset is I would rather guarantee of a loss of 1 unit, 0.25% of my bankroll than let it ride on a 1% of my bankroll. To me, that sounds nuts that I would gamble it and just let it ride. I'll lock in that loss and move on. Like, big deal. It's minuscule. You make that back in one decent bet. You make up the vig in positive EV. One good bet is that vig is covered. So please, I know how much people dislike buybacks. I also know how much people dislike middles and scalps when they don't middle or work, when the scalp side doesn't work or the middle loses. I get it, but we're here to win long term. We're talking big sample sizes, not bullshit ones, not last 8 days, last 30 days, this month, this season, this sport, this rating. No. We're talking overall, over a big sample size. That's the most advantageous thing to do. When the middle's there, you take it. When the scalp's there, you take it. When the conflict in information comes in, you buy it back. We're not gambling. Again, that's why, as bad as the last 6 weeks were, I look at it as we minimize damage. We minimize damage by keeping everything about a 3% play, even some 2% plays, of even lowering some of the volume and riding out the storm with still decent profit, with our capital in check and ready to do some damage these final freaking 4 months. That's my mindset. So if I got a middle of the scalp to do it, I'm going to do it. And our goals are aligned, and you truly just want to win year after year and turn profit on your capital and not just gamble, then you're going to agree that that is the right move. And also please, because people have been asking about if I send out a play, because this is point spread. I warned you when it was just baseball, that when the NFL comes, college football comes, having multiple outs will be key. Have it not be in the same book. So you have lines to shop. If you miss my line and it's by a significant margin, buying a whole point doesn't give you the same bet. Meaning if I have -6.5, -110, even -6.5, -115, and the line's at 8, and you're like, or 7.5, and you buy it down to 6.5, but at -150, 140, we don't have the same bet. Even though if they win by 7, we both win, they're two completely different bets. You're laying 8, you're just doing it a different way. And that habit guarantees you will lose money. So please, please, please get out of the habit of buying points for the purpose of getting a number that you missed. You only buy points when they're available at a discount to what they're truly worth. That's the only time we buy points. And until you know for certain what they're worth, please don't buy points. Pass on the bet. Don't even care whether it wins or loses. Move on to the next trade. You're a trader. Your job is to get your capital into good trades. Let the trade run its course. Keep moving, keep trading, keep trading, keep trading. That's the job. Make enough good trades. You're up 48% on your capital for the year. That's where we sit. Yes, the last 6 weeks have been shit, have been terrible, have been awful. I've been crushed every possible way, every possible sport. I get it. That is part of the journey that will not be avoided by anybody. If you can't survive it, you will not profit as a sports bettor. Full stop, as they say. That's it. If you can't lose, you will not profit as a sports bettor. There's no possible way, because you will lose. Even if you're a 60% guy at minus 110, which you're not. Even if you're a 65% guy at minus 110, which nobody is, you will lose mismanaging risk. So even on a busy day like today, I have to keep saying that. And even in a busy day like today, see, we missed, sorry guys, I got to stay on this because they're coming in so late. He did bet Koala and Loughran plus 145. I don't even know which one Loughran is. Loughran plus 145. Hopefully Lapalus. See, early Lapalus theme, late Loughran's theme, which is a perfect example of why, like, just piggybacking sharp moves isn't enough. It's narrowing down those sharp moves that are still positive EV. That's where you win. I would have left this one alone, obviously, because I saw the just as sharp early money the other way. So I would have left this one alone. I don't even know who's going to win or who cares who wins. Let me look real quick to see, do we have any more actionable information? Okay. Nope, they didn't fire. Called on. And if you got questions, start loading them in there. Start loading them in there. Yeah, see, it's good. There's not a bunch of steam today, like during the day. Like usually it would be nonstop shit coming in, but like now it's just all those Division 2 shit that just moved so much. Like Charlotte minus 25, Western Carolina plus 35, Illinois State minus 21.5. Those are all gone. Like we're gonna have to catch those as they're coming in, and we'll do that for sure throughout the season. We'll get a couple good ones. Won't be able to use for premium play, but those in the room will. Because what's good is when I see it come from the 2 or 3 at the same time accounts that I monitor, those are the ones we're going to get down on. Those were the Howard and the overs. I'm not sure. I didn't even do yesterday's box scores yet. I do them all on Sunday because Saturday's so busy. So tomorrow after I finish all the baseball shit and all that stuff, I'll go and look through Friday, Saturday's results. But with that said, I don't know what the outcome was for Howard and over, whether I know at least it's the worst it did was split. But regardless, that kind of play is very strong, and we want to be getting down on those. Even if I can't use them for premiums, that's okay. If you guys make money off it in the room, God bless you, more power to you. And that's exactly my next point, because starting next week, you're going to get teasers. You're going to see, I'm going to be betting a bunch of teasers. I will share the ones, the strongest as premium plays, probably 2 or 3 of them. But my hope is that I could get 10 teasers in a day, a Sunday. Obviously, I probably won't, but I'm hoping. That's my goal, to get as many teasers as possible. Just plus EV teasers, that's it. Here's the mistake bettors make, and I'm going to share this early on to you guys, that I've learned over the last probably 5 years that's helped me the most with teasers. Okay, I'm probably going to share this info. Besides, obviously, the key numbers that we tease, we don't care about the matchup. We don't care about the team. We factor in the total a little bit, but more than not, what matters the most is the numbers that we tease. Here's what else is that key to taking you to that next level of winning teasers. We bet them late. We don't bet them early. You're going to miss some, obviously, but that's okay, because the most advantageous teasers come when the market is efficient, opposite of our straight bets. So with teasers, if you want to beat the market, you have to do the opposite of what you do when you're betting sides and when you're betting totals. When you're betting sides, when you're betting totals, whether it's props, whether it's the game, you want to get out ahead of the market. You want to be first. You want to get before the information's factored into the betting line. Knowing it's going to rain, taking advantage of an under is too late if the book's already adjusted the betting line. So you want to get out ahead of the rain. You want to get out ahead of the injury before they adjust it 7 points, okay? We know that if you want to beat sides and totals. That's not how it works with teasers, because with your teaser, you want the game to land near the number. And for that to happen, the market needs to be efficient. The lines have to be their most efficient. And when are the lines the strongest? When are they most efficient? At the close, at the very end, when all the info's been factored in, when all the sharp bettors have bet, all the square bettors have bet, the injuries are all factored in, the starting lineups are factored in, game plans and what people said all week are factored in. Everything you could think of, weather is all factored in. That's the most efficient line we have. Again, not perfect, kind of like our country, but it's the best we've come up with. And you have to respect that, which is why we're going to be betting our teasers on Sundays about an hour or two before game time, when I've already determined what the closing line is. And now this is where it's sharpest. This is where we want to tease those key numbers. Because sure, you could miss some because they try to protect with teaser protection late by moving it. Doesn't matter then. It doesn't matter because it's no longer a teaser. It's no longer, those 7 points are no longer helping you, those 6 points, excuse me, like they did anyway. So again, we're going to be betting those closer to the close, and I will be sharing which ones are plus EV. We don't tease in college football because there's just too much variance in the scoring. And when there's variance in the scoring, getting points doesn't matter. Getting points matters when the game's going to be close, when we're close to the spread at least. That's when the points matter. That's when you'll cover the teaser. So be ready and keep the little bank separate for our teasers. Again, I can't send out 10 of them as premium plays. We'll send out 2 or 3 of the strongest each week, but I already have my side capital strictly for teasers, because year in, year out, they've been so efficient. Let me see what else. See, I put post-its throughout the week of things I need to remember to get across. Okay, we covered that. All right, we covered the Slack question too. All right, let me see if you got what you guys got. Okay. Let me go through here. Give me 1 second. Oh, now it's loading up. All right. Let me look through these fights real quick. Wow, here's what's surprising. Not much public action at all on today's UFC card. I get it, it's over there in Paris, but I'm a little bit surprised that it's getting this little of action. I guess everybody's so excited for this college football. These games have been up for months though, man. I guess to watch them, people like, huh? People enjoy watching games, huh? All right, let's look real quick. All right, gonna look through some gold. Hold on. Like I said, I got to be working during this too, so just hang with me. I'm just scrolling through to see. Well, is Fresno going to cover? That was an interesting. That got a lot of steam. North Carolina too. I want to see North Carolina get the -3. I need North Carolina to get the -3. I really like that play, but we needed to get the 3. Kind of like Wisconsin got over that 28, sitting at 28.5. That matters. Another Colorado State got a bunch of, that's like that. Perfect example. How Colorado State's one of the, they could lose, not cover one, saying is one of the heavier steam plays for week 1. But that was at 13, at 12.5, at 12 and 11.5. That was it. I get it. There's guys giving it out at 9 and betting it at 9, and it may cover at 9, but they're not betting from any position of strength. It's terrible bet in that spot. All right, what else do we have? Damn, everybody was, all the squares were on Tennessee. I'm gonna pull up baseball real fast. Nope, just, oh, here's the rest of the baseball that we're looking at. I almost forgot that. You ready? Pull up your, these are obviously still looking to confirm. The only thing we've confirmed is the Washington, but fortunately most of these are later, so you'll probably receive text if we do. Let me share what we're looking at right now. We're looking at the game 959, San Francisco, San Diego under. Game 965, Cleveland, Tampa Bay under. Make sure. Yes, LA, Oakland, LA and Oakland under. That game's going off in an hour. Kind of like that one a little bit. Let me see where that is. Hold on. Oh, no, it's, yeah, at 8. Yeah, hold on. I think we may have a play right here too. Oakland, come on, Oakland. Where are you at? Yeah, let's go. You ready? LAA and Oakland. LAA, Oakland. Game 963, game 963, LAA and Oakland. We're going to go under 8 minus, let me see what that is, minus 115s, minus 115s, minus 120, minus 115, 115, 120, 120. I'll go minus 120. Let's go minus 120. Under minus 120. Hopefully everybody gets in. Oakland versus LAA total 964. Ain't no reason to hold off anymore. That was on my radar, fit the profile, and just got hit at 115 by one of my sharp baseball groups. That's what we want to see. It's exactly what we want to see. Hold on here. You guys should have received it. Now let me bet it. Where are they at? Oakland. And everybody's serving me up 20. Come on, someone's got to give me a minus 15, right? Like what the fuck? I see so many minus 15s there. Just give me 1 second. I got to get a minus 115. Penny's down to 7.5. Wow. Wow. Okay. Damn, 120 there too. Okay. Yeah, everybody's got 120s. All right, 120s it is. All right, under it is. There we go. Okay. So we're in Washington and we're in on the under. Actually, give me 1 second. With no Milwaukee, Washington over, we're not going to mess with. 1 second. Oh, no wonder. Sorry, guys, just got to get more down on this. Someone else wants some of that Washington plus 1.5 at minus 150. Okay. All right. No, oh wait, no, that's not what we're gonna do. Hold on 1 sec. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, I remember. Let me see. Loose. Yeah, Neil, great question about the pinnacle. I'm going to show you what I do. Show you my little screen right here. See, I do this, and that's why you see my thing. It's already on Toronto. And you see I'm already, most of it, either East Coast, recent location, or selected location, Toronto. So yeah, that's how you kind of work around those situations. But penny, you want that out if you could get it. If you could get it, if you got, you know, a good way to get a penny out. Just the juice is just amazing. Yeah, again, most bettors don't think in those terms of if I could lay minus 105 instead of 110, how great different life would be. Most don't realize what a huge difference that is. Like the difference between laying minus 110 on each side and laying minus 105 on each side is almost double the vig. Like the house has a 4.5% edge on minus 110, 110, and a 2.4% edge at minus 105, minus 105. That's where you want to, like, that's how big of the difference is on finding that discounted vig. That's the way to go for sure. Let's stick around and see what else is coming in. Houston UTSA over 13.5 minus 105 for first quarter, over 13.5 minus 105 first quarter. That just came across right now. Let me see, Utah, Houston. I don't have anything nothing there to make me want to bet that. We're moving it, but nothing on that we want to bet. Piggyback on. We have Wisconsin coming up. We have Toledo coming up. We have North Carolina coming up. We have the under in Nevada coming up. We have the over in Boise coming up. We have South Alabama coming up. Okay, so 5 of our college football are still coming up. We have both our baseball coming up, all 3 baseball, excuse me. And so far, we also have our UFC, where we have split. So far, we've lost juice, right? Oh, done. Sorry, guys. I'm saying the book should be up to 30, so 30K each, no problem. Let me see. Okay. figures and letting you know. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Okay. Whew, everybody's got all kind of stuff coming in. None of it we could use. None of it we could use. So let me get back. Okay, Morgan Shari minus 355. Morgan Shari minus 355. Heavy chalk. But that's the side. You know what? I'm going to put a nickel on it. A dime's a lot. This is just for fun. One of those fun bets. I don't like betting fun bets that are that chalky, but I'll put a nickel with Shari. Hold on, give me a second. Again, you guys don't have to bet. You could fade it. You could ignore it. Then Shari at minus 355. 355 on Shari is what they're betting. Let me see what I could get on Shari. Sorry, they got the cleaning lady and the maid here on this Saturday, so forgive me for that, guys. All right, there's Shetty. I'll put a nickel, 350. Oh shit, it loses 1,700 for 500. Yeah, you probably shouldn't bet that. Again, I like giving books action too, especially now with football coming. And if this line doesn't get steamed, it'll even be even better for me, because then it won't look like I'm trying to get out ahead of them. It'll be interesting to see if this moves up from the 355 mark, 350 marks. Because I even see at DraftKings, my buddy just laid the 340 there. It's 345 there. Tell him, dude, again, that stuff's going to get shut down. You can't do that for too long in places like that. Oh, let me give you some more MMA that was sharp. Again, the guys aren't winning. These groups aren't winning. They're getting respect. They're moving these lines, but they're not getting it done. What's left? Ozdemir, the under 1.5 in the Ozdemir is very sharp. Thiago Moises obviously caught a lot of steam as well. Who else? Cyril Gan, we know we're on the Gan side. He's up to minus 200. Sharps also on Manan Fiorot. They got down a little earlier. I'm not laying 2-1. Listen, I know Rose has been crushing as a dog. Like if you're going to bet Rose, you want to bet her as a dog. But no, man. If she's in a stand-up at home, you gotta like the Manan side too. I agree with it. I just don't know if I'm willing to lay 2-1. Maybe if this chalky Frenchman comes in this next one, this Manol, oh no, Morgan Shari comes in, then maybe we'll let it ride on, otherwise no way. Oh, Gamori at plus, that's the one dog that I saw catch some steam. I didn't mess with it. Oh, that one already went down. What am I talking about? Right, I'm like, hey, I already lost. That's why I didn't even like it. Oh yeah, the Thiago Moises. And early steam came in on Saint Denis. That's for damn sure. That's confirmed because he opened as an underdog, got steamed all the way up, and now because Moises got to like a plus, you know, such big chalk, such a big dog, 150. That's where the steam came in from other groups. But there's some sharp money on the Saint Denis side. I actually talked about that in the podcast I do for the UFC. Okay, nothing else there. Let me see. You got any questions? Again, we're just waiting for next week, guys. We're just waiting for next Sunday, where we will be live for the NFL. Still going to choose what time. I got to make sure we're able to work and able to give actionable info. What good is it to me give you info that's not coming in live? Cal Poly just came right now. If you can get 309.056, 309.056, Cal Poly minus 16.5. Cal Poly minus 16.5 on the extra board. Cal Poly minus 16.5. Okay. Penny's got 14.5. Oh, at minus 140 something. Chris got 13.5. 17s at Buckeyes. Yeah, he'll at least take 17. Okay, he'll take 17. All right. Anybody taking that? It's Cal Poly. Cal Poly up to minus 17. See what happens there. That just came right now, so that screen's probably going to light up. Can't wait till next week with NFL. All right. Give me 1 sec. I'm looking to see where the prop guy, if he's got anything for you guys. I know you guys love props. The props they steamed today, again, I have no idea what they did. Was the Cornelius Johnson under 40.5 receiving yards, and Roman Wilson over 44.5 receiving yards. So Cornelius Johnson under 40.5 and Roman Wilson over 44.5, both up to minus 120. Again, I write them down just because I like to see then where it closed, and more important, what the result did. Okay, nothing there. Again, this is me just screening. Nothing there. All right, we are up to date. Morgan Shari. Is that on? Come on. Damn. Rose, they're just showing, all right, they're just showing Rose and what's her name, huh? Okay. All right, let's get back to work. Let's go. Over the years, are NFL teasers profitable? No. Teasers are the worst for recreational bettors. They're extremely profitable for sharp bettors because we have parameters that we stick to. We only let's lay them down right now so you can be prepared for next week. We only play 6-point teasers. We only play 6-point teasers. No 6.5s, no 7s. 6-point teasers. We only play them in the NFL. You can write it down. NFL teasers, only 6 points. We only look to tease through the number through the number 7 and through the number 3. So we're looking for teasers that let us go through the number 3 and through the number 7. We don't lay more than 120. If possible, definitely don't lay more than 125. I mean, at 130, you have a small edge, but you should be able to get better than that on 6-point teasers. Like if your guy's charging you 130, you should be looking for more outs. I mean, you could easily find 125s, 120s. I have an even money 6-point teaser, and I think the pennies even money are minus 110. So you shouldn't be laying more than 120s, 125s on 6-point teasers. And that's it. We will tease those spots that based also with the total, and they will be profitable. Usually we'll have about, I think it comes to, I have it right here, about a 3%, 3.5% edge. A little bit higher if you get better vig. I know at like minus 110, there were spots where we're getting 5% edges on teasers, which is like 4 times what you'll get as an advantaged blackjack player, just to put it in context for you of how big of a deal that is. So trust me, Neil, our teasers will not be sucker bets. The books are raising the juice because most bettors don't understand that by raising the juice, you make them unbeatable. Meaning the 6-point teaser that I'm talking about that gives us that 3, 4, 5% edge at minus 140 doesn't. You don't have an edge anymore. That's how they defend it. That's why VIG is so important. That's why shopping is so important. Most casual bettors don't realize the difference, how that one change could differentiate between making a bet winnable and then making something unbeatable. And let me explain what I mean. Let me put this in perfect context. Blackjack. The casinos did one thing, changed one simple rule, and shut down 95, 98% of card counting groups by changing one rule. At most casinos, there's still tables we find, there's still casinos we find, but at the majority, especially on the floor, not in the high limit. And what they did was they simply moved blackjack, which paid 3-2. So the player got 3-2 if they hit a blackjack. You put $20 down and you get dealt a king and an ace, you got back 30. They changed that to 6-5. That's it. That's all they did. They went from 3-2 to 6-5. And that difference in edge wiped out about 2.5% of edge, which is what card counters have, about 1.5 to 2% edge. So all they had to do is just change one rule, which adjusted the house edge by a little more than 2%, which was changing blackjack from paying 3-2 to now paying 6-5. So first you put 50, you won $75. So your $50 bet with blackjack used to pay 75, 3-2. Now your $50 only pays 60, not 75. That $15 difference on every $50 makes the game unbeatable. The same with teasers. If your book has minus 140, it means he's so sure he has foolish bettors that he can charge 140. If he's charging 135, 130, same thing. He knows his bettors don't know the difference between a good bet and a bad bet. So you could take advantage of those kind of books. You just can't bet teasers with them. Keep them because we'll find sides, we'll find totals, you'll beat them, but you can't beat them with teasers if they've defended themselves by increasing the VIG that significantly. And it's like I say with straight bets. If tomorrow the books decide to go to 6-5 instead of 11-10, where now we have to pay 110 to win 100 on a bet, if they go to minus 120 to win 100, again, just like 98% of card counting groups got wiped out, that many percent of betting syndicates will get wiped out overnight. Like sports betting will no longer be beatable for them. They may use the market to scalp to middle, but straight betting, sides and totals will no longer be a thing if they have to start laying 120 to win 100, because that edge is gone. Because the edge is small, man. I'm telling you, there's a reason. There is a reason. It's very obvious why. Even in an industry where we're supposed to be winners, that's why we sell picks. So few guys are profitable. There's almost no site that'll show you the last 365 days of everybody's results, the whole year of everybody's results. You can't do it. You just can't. Nobody will do it. Because if you go further than 1 month out, 2 months out, there's not going to be a lot of guys that are profitable. That's just the facts. That's the truth of sports betting. There's a lot of guys that are hot today, right now. A lot of guys that are in the middle of a hot streak. But that has nothing to do with whether they're winning this year, whether they're profitable lifetime. Again, man, You got to be able to separate the two. We're here to win long term. We're only here to fucking use the market to invest our capital. That's exactly what we're doing. I promise you, every bet we make will be a good bet. They're not all going to win, but what I'm sending them out at will be good bets. When I send out the teaser, they will be plus EV teasers. The job is, can you move it? Can you get it down? That's your job as a trader, to be able to trade. So make sure we get down and blast them with teasers this year. Find some out. Yeah, see, great question, Mike, about the Cleveland Washington teaser at minus 120. Listen, I'm not saying not to bet it, but what I am saying, and especially with week one, this week is a little bit different because these lines have been up so long that it's almost like we're looking at mostly closing numbers. Thank you. We're looking at mostly closing numbers, but after the first week, it'll change. Like, meaning we are going to be betting them game day. Now, sure, there may be a spot where I'm pretty sure they're going to use a teaser protector and move this 7.5 up to 9.5 quickly. So we got to get it in early. There'll be those times, but for the most part, I'm telling you, I went back, I did the work. I saw where my sample size of results. That's why we started this subscription, because we went back and dug into 8 years of my results and saw that we do this the right way and people actually figure it out, they're going to win. Like, you're going to use this information and make money betting it. The nonsense is gone with the tout bullshit. So we will be putting in some early stuff, but again, most are later. And that one, as far as Washington, Cleveland at minus 120, it's Wong. It's definitely Wong. And being week one, probably not a bad bet either. But if this was week two, if you were saying it today, I'd be like, Saturday, you're probably good. But earlier in the week, I'd be a little cautious betting those teasers. No, you're very welcome, Neil. And please, any question you think of during the week, write it down. Don't be embarrassed or ashamed to ask anything. There's no foolish question. Ignorance is not a bad word. It simply means you haven't been taught. No one showed you yet. Like, you're not born knowing everything. Things are learned. And you guys are doing exactly that. Again, this is the one weird week. I didn't obviously want to put it off because we're accountable, and with practice comes perfection. But this is like off week because college football's been up all week. Next week's going to be a little different, and this is what we need to figure out. Next week we're going to do Sunday, obviously. Everyone's excited. NFL, I get it. But moving forward after that, we're going to have to start deciding which day, and when I can, if you guys are down, I'll do two. Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, we won't hang on for 3 hours. We won't have to go over our results again. We won't have to do our calisthenics again. But I'll jump on for like an hour, on Saturday and say, hey, let's jump on at 3 p.m. Eastern, go over the morning results, and let's get ready for the evening. And especially over these next hours when a lot of that stuff comes in, I'm down. So you guys got to let me know what you guys want to do, how much time you're able to, put into or commit, because this is what I do. This is my job. Luckily, I don't have to sell picks anymore, like push promote picks or anything like that. I actually am just working through Wager Talk and a couple other spots that hooked me up with people just like you, men and women, whose goal is to win long term. And that's all I got to focus on is us doing damage, baby. So we're good. Let me see. Will we have anything else coming in? Let me see. Oh, did that guy lose another chalk? Did I just lose 2 dimes for nothing? At least that's going to buy me time with football, especially since the line didn't steam. Wow, that was ugly, I think. What can you do? See, I know not to send those out as premium plays. That's the difference between a premium play and a bet, a gamble, an opinion. Now, it wasn't a game because it was sharp action on it. But having seen that the line, they're not trying to beat the close, that it's just actual moves, actual plays. Oh no, he did actually. Wow, it closed minus 395. Okay. At DraftKings, wow, I went from 345 to 395. Okay, so what can you do, right? All right. Gomez Gamori's next. Let's see if anything comes in through here. Let's see. Since we're hanging out real quick. Oh, no, he won? Oh, wow, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Kyle. You just made me happy. So I thought I lost. See, I'm not really paying attention. So I actually won 500 instead of losing 2 dimes. That actually made me happy. Thank you. Thank you. I fucking love you guys so much. You have no idea. I swear to God, man, I told Gianni, do whatever you got to do. I know a couple guys are going to drop out. I know a couple, I'm sure it hurt, like losing the last 6 weeks. That's what crushes me the most. Like, I wish that those people were with me, all of them since January 1st. So then at least I know, dude, like you're up. Like, I get it. It sucks the last 6 weeks, but I could sleep okay because I know you're up money. And I promise you, I'm fucking doing everything I can. I'm working so hard to make sure we turn around the last 6 weeks, recover what we lost, and add on top of it. Like, that's my #1 goal. But I know it just wasn't the case, that some people signed up at the start of the bad run and, you know, are down, lost 25, 30% of their bankroll, or if they didn't follow my instructions, got crushed. I hate that happens. That's why I hate selling picks, because it could be avoided. That's the part that it was either do a subscription like this or honestly almost stop selling picks. Like you guys see from social media, I don't like promoting. I don't like talking about I'm the greatest, I'm the best, I'm this. That's just stupid. Like, dude, put your results out there if they're documented. It's 2023. People aren't stupid. They understand how little people actually win. And if you offer value, you're going to have some people that are going to work with you. That's it. Because I hate that part of it, that like, I did it, so I can't fault, but like promoting big games just because you have to sell and knowing that someone is putting more money on it because he believes that you have a bigger edge, even though you don't. Like, you're making a bigger play because it's Saturday college football and you know you're going to sell a big play. And Monday Night Football, you're going to do the same thing. And Sunday NFL, you're going to fucking do the same thing. Like, it just happens to be on those days you have your biggest play. Or the day you're the special, or the day it's, you know, it's nonsense with that shit. It's just everywhere. Now that there's more pick selling sites and more independent pick sellers than I've ever seen before. And I would think in 2023 with the internet, there'd be transparency and you couldn't get away with just lying. But it seems like all you got to do is bullshit, just lie and ignore people. Just keep saying you're winning. Just keep saying you're winning. And as long as you don't document your results, who's going to tell you different? The people that followed you maybe for 3 months, okay, they got crushed with you, but you just say, yeah, I'm up over the 5 years. I'm up over the last 2 years. I'm up this. I'm up that. I'm up this. I'm up that. I see it all the time. And then when I go to check, like, okay, this guy's up. Where's his results. Like, you're telling me what you're up, but how can I verify that? Like, where's that documented? Or there's no speak of long-term stuff. It's one or the other. It's either bragging about results that you just cannot verify, or not talking about long-term at all. Again, I don't want to harp on the industry. It gets a bad eye enough. But I just see so many people falling for the same shit over and over and over again. I'm just chilling with you guys now. We're hanging out a little bit because I want to see what this next fight, if these guys are gonna come in with anything late. Now we got a nickel to ride. I mean, if you guys want to log off, I don't blame you guys. Can, you know what I mean? We're coming towards the end, but I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna hang out till 4 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out a little long. Okay, here we go. William Gomez minus 200. William Gomez minus 200. Wow. So it looks like they were setting some shit up by taking it early on the dog and then coming back on the favorite. If Gomez closes upwards of 200, Ace just figured something really good out that we're gonna be able to profit from ahead. Yeah, these guys are laying the 200 on Gomez. Gomez it is. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna let that nickel ride. Let that nickel ride. Let me see. Where is it? Why not, right? No, let that nickel ride. Hold on. Yeah, because now if it loses, I'll only lose the original 500 because he's minus 200. Okay. Let's let it ride. That's embarrassing because it's only nickels, but I'll show you so you see. I'm only betting nickels. You see, I'm down, look at that, down 2 dimes with this guy. So he can't be, he's got to be happy. He's got to be loving life. Yeah, he's got the minus 200 I'm looking for. Give him a nickel. They love this kind of stuff, especially when you bet mostly dimes with them. You know what I mean? And you throw some nickel on some big chalk. New account too. Yeah, they're gonna. That's how you get longevity in the business. Thank you, Neil. And listen, that's all I try to do is because I've made every mistake. Like I keep it real with you guys. I lost a lot of money betting, gambling throughout my life early on. Like I really did. There's even times now where I'm like, if I just never bet in my life, never gambled in my life and took a different path, like would I be better off financially? And I really don't know the answer to that. Maybe. As good as the last 10 years have been for me, especially the last 8, I don't know. But the last 8 have just been so good that have changed my life forever. That I know it's doable. And like it finally clicked for me that I know there's guys out there, guys and girls, that are just like me, that know it's doable, but have to eliminate all the noise. And there's just so much noise out there that gets you going one way or the other way. And here's all I tell you guys, and don't take my word for it. Like, don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it. Do your due diligence. You owe it to yourself to ask one simple question. If you're gonna take anyone's advice and actually put stock in their opinion, value their opinion, you owe it to yourself to at least know what that advice has done for anyone else. Like if I'm giving advice as a stockbroker and you're considering taking my advice, you owe it to yourself to find out what my advice has done for everyone else. Like, did I make everyone else that I've given that advice to money also? Or did I break them? And now I'm just trying to make you money. Like, how did they do with me? How's your history? And I think too many casual bettors and recreational bettors are afraid to do that. They won't ask the next question. They see a guy who's like, oh, I'm up, I'm number one in baseball the last 40 days, or I'm number one in college football in this year. Okay, that's week 2. Okay, can you tell me what last year was? Or you've been selling picks, I see, for 6 years. Can you tell me what you did? Like, how are those 6 years? If they're not going to answer you that, then you already know the answer. And I'm not telling you that doesn't mean their future could change, because mine did. I was a losing capper and a losing bettor and a losing pick seller. I'm not telling you they can't change that around. But if they're not even willing to acknowledge that in the past, up until this point, they've lost, then you only have yourself to blame if you give them any money. They're already telling you that they're not much better than a coin flip. They're telling you that. They're promising you that no one over the last 12 months has made money with them. Because if they did, they'd be telling you, this is what I'm up over the last 12 months. There's no one in this business that is going to hide their profitable results. There's not a single person that's up in 2023 that doesn't want you to know. It's that simple. We're 9 months, we've had 8 full months, okay? 30 plus weeks of betting. If you can't give me at least that where you're at, then you've got no business giving me your opinion on tomorrow. None at all. Because I know you've been giving opinions out that long. I know it. I've been watching you. You were doing videos and selling picks a year ago, and you won't tell me how you did? Again, if like that alone tells you everything you need to know. Tells you everything you need to know. Yeah, I told you how I bet at. I do bet at Pinnacle. I have a hookup in. If you have a family member, a close friend, or someone you trust that is north of the border, they simply open an account for you. You simply get a VPN and fire away. That's how it's done, pretty much from start to finish, Neil. With everyone I know that bets at Pinnacle, they have someone they trust or an agent of Pinnacle, and they use a VPN like I do that shows they're betting from Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. You know, they don't care. You know, even if Penny knows you're in the States, they don't care. They just legally have to abide by those laws. And as long as your IP address appears to be coming from the US, you're gold. But make sure the person in Canada that you have, you know, responsible for your accounts, you could trust, you know what I mean? So now we have let's watch this. Let's see what's going on here. What else do we have coming on? We have that Ozdemir under. That was sharp. Okay, these guys aren't fighting yet. Let me see any more college football. Any good stuff coming in for us, boys. All right. Wow, these guys didn't even bet today. There's a group of betting syndicate that didn't even bet, didn't even touch college football. These guys are so disciplined, man. Not a single bet. They don't give a fuck. They're going to wait till they know they got the edge. They do it for money. They're not doing it to watch these games or for action or because they're fans. They're looking for weak lines and to bury them. It's exactly what we're doing. Next Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. Next Sunday will be a lot of fun. Oh, wow. The Michigan. Okay, so those split, right? Those props split, yes. Wilson went over, Johnson didn't go under. Okay, so that's split. No love, no loss. Got to peek in. Let's see now here. No, Gomez. Gomez is the last. Oh, Massachusetts, Auburn, over 51. Massachusetts, Auburn, over 51. UMass, Auburn, over 51. Shit, that game's going off, huh? Damn. UMass, Auburn, over 51. They're betting even the team total over for both. UMass, Auburn, over 51, and both team totals over 44, I think, and over 7. This is how it works. Again, I'll be in better shape for football, for pro next week, and have this set up a little easier for us. Yeah, because it's not even on my screen no more. It's a problem. A lot of the stuff comes in minutes before. That's why I say we got to have our screens up. And starting next week, there will be times where we're going to come in. I'm going to do the rewind, going to answer some questions, and then there's going to be times of silence, just like a trading room floor. Like I said, I work with a group like that does day trading, and that's how it is. You know, we ask questions here or there, but it's just sitting back and waiting for trades to trigger. So see, like now I missed that too. Fuck. God damn, dude. And again, I don't even care if it wins or loses. That's not the worry to me. Mine's, I missed a good bet. You can't do that. There ain't that many of them. And these guys are that good, this group. There they go, right before, I swear it right here. Massachusetts plus 35, Massachusetts over 51, Massachusetts team total over 7.5, Auburn team total over 44. Oh, no, sorry. Auburn team total under 44. Wow. So they got the game over, they got UMass over, they got UMass for the game, but they got Auburn under. Okay, so they expect Auburn probably to score. All right, so they're expecting UMass to be able to score. Expect UMass to be able to score. I like that because I have UMass. That was one that was borderline for a premium play. Remember? That was on our radar. And just to let you know, those I usually bet like a nickel or a dime at the most. I told you, I keep it real with you guys. I bet 1x to 5x, 1,000 to 5,000, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 1,000 to 5,000. And then like little stuff like that, I'll bet a nickel up to a dime, up to a 1%, you know, on like this. If we had time, I would have confirmed. What would have happened was UMass plus 35 would have been a premium play. And let me just double check that total. But I'm pretty sure that would have too. Yeah, we would have bet that, and we would have went over as well in the total. That's okay. Again, there's always the next bet, But that's what's going to happen. I'm going to have to be laser focused on my screens. So you guys don't miss anything. And again, I'm sorry, some of it's going to be boring. You could keep an earpiece in. Like, you don't really have to watch. You could keep your earpiece in, do what you're going to do, go about your day. Just keep a book open. Just keep your books open and be ready to fire. All right. Let's hang out a little bit. I don't want to stop recording because then I think it shuts it down. So sorry, anybody that's hanging out with us that's going to catch the replay. We're finished with the chat and more or less the Q&A, and we're just hanging out now, watching some UFC, seeing if some stuff comes in that we could dabble in, and that's pretty much where we stand. Are you guys having trouble with your ESPN Plus feed, or is it just me? I wonder if it's a Paris thing, because I usually don't. On my laptop, I usually don't. Sometimes on my TV, I have a problem with ESPN Plus, but usually my laptop's gold. Yeah, I knew this Gamori kid's tough. He's tough. He's tough as nails. I know that. Let me see what else I got for you. Like I said, next week, it's Sunday, baby. Sunday fun day. We're here, yeah. Yeah, he's had a decent opposition, Gamori. 60-30, his opponents. But we got the southpaw 4-inch reach advantage. Just not a closer. But Gomez has won 10 straight fights. Wow. And this one, I believe, was heavily favored to go to a decision, right? They're going to bore us to death. Yep, almost over 2-1 to go to distance, right? What's funny is if he was betting the dogs, I probably wouldn't have been piggybacking. But with the favorite, it even looks square, you know? And again, for me, because I just value my credit account so much, it allows me to do shit elsewhere with my money. All right, let's see what's going on. The Gomez live line, minus 400. Minus 400. Okay, let's look at that baseball real quick. And like I said, I gave you the baseball we still contemplating, which is the under San Francisco, San Diego. And the over in Cleveland, Tampa. Again, nothing I'd say pull the trigger on. We need a little more confirmation before they're worthy of a play. And to be honest with you, seeing those 7.5s on San Francisco, San Diego kind of turns me off now. Yeah, we could take that one off. We don't. San Diego, San Diego, San Diego. Look at the matchup. Snell's pitching. All right, they've been flying over this series, huh, the last 2 games. Oh, yeah, and Snell's coming off not having allowed a run, as well as, yeah, take that off. San Fran, San Diego is a no. Quickly look at the Tampa Bay for us. That way, get that out of the way. Again, today was about looking at college football, and they're just slow. That's why it's kind of this calm this week. We're betting a little here, a little there. We're the like opportunities are ahead, like with football. And you got to remember, we're not even in week 1 of the NFL. We're going to have 3-4 months of this of Sunday night, Monday nights, Thursday nights, college football Saturdays, college football Tuesdays, college football Wednesdays, college football Fridays. Like, we are going to have opportunities to place good bets. That's why right now, patience is so key to not lose money. Rule number one, don't lose money. Rule number two, don't lose money. That's got to be paramount. Capital preservation. That's all I keep telling you guys. Capital preservation, because when it turns, as it's turning, and we start doing damage, you want to be able to take advantage of that. And if you've fucked up your capital, it's just not possible to do that. You're going to miss all the good times. Like, you were around to get buried, and you're going to miss all the good times. It makes no sense. So you want to make sure you survive the tough times, and you're there to freaking profit as much as possible over the good. Yeah, this Tampa. Cleveland, Tampa. That's a pass too. Oh, and let me share this real quickly. The other thing you want to pay attention to, because a lot of you guys have asked about line monitoring, and you guys are doing it. So many of you guys are writing down the Pinnacle Open, the Bet Online Open, the Circa Open, following so the line moves throughout the day, writing down the closing line, checking the finals. You're starting to try to uncover some patterns. Slow down, no rush, because human beings, we see patterns that don't exist. That's just been proven. So you want to make sure it does exist before you draw too many conclusions. But the one big thing you want to pay attention to, what were the limits? Like, perfect example, Pinnacle. You look at the Angels and the Oakland game, okay? It opens at 8.5. The betting limit was 1,500. That's nothing. When it gets to 7,500, when it gets to 3,000, 5,000, you start seeing moves. Like, I pay very much attention to what the betting limits are and when the move comes. Like, what was the limit at that time? Because they open it and the limits are like 0, and then they take one limit bet, and they adjust. That's nothing. That's nothing. I want to know, when you're taking a significant bet, when then are you being pressured into adjusting? Because again, a book adjusting is simply telling you, we're wrong. We're trying to now attract money on the other side to balance out our risk and minimize our exposure. And if they're doing that with small limits, you can't pay too much attention to it. There's a lot of manipulation involved. But when the big limits come out and sides get hit, that's when you pay attention. Because even some of the bigger groups that I work with, the guys I'm talking that at the top, that big, many of them are even willing to take a little worse number to get more money down. So, like, instead of getting minus 125, they'll have to wait to lay 130, but now they could get 5 times the money down that they could have at 125. So it's more advantageous for them to wait. Okay, they got to lay the 130, but now I could get down 5x. If they're firing the 5x, that's when I want to pay attention. Those are the steam moves. Those are the Akron tempo over 27 second half just came through. Those are the things that we want to be paying attention to as handicappers, as market readers, as sports bettors. What are these guys? What round are these fuckers in? Round 2, that's it. It just started. I don't even know who's winning this fight. Is there a live number? That usually tells you. Sometimes, oh yeah, okay, Gomez is winning this fight. That's obvious by the minus 700 current number, right? Okay, we know that much. Wow, Manan down to 183 at Pinnacle. Not surprised. Like I said, Namajunas as a dog. What was it? I got her number right here. Ready for this? Rose. 6-1 as a dog. Average closing line minus 181. Look at this. How beautiful is that? Oh, it's hard to fake. Look at this. Look at Rose. Look at her. 6-1. Look at that average closing line. 181. So the market thought she should have won 36% of her fights as a dog. She's outperformed it by 50%. She's way outperformed the betting market as a dog. Now you expect some mean reversion as well in that spot. And so as positive as that was for those that were betting her during that, it's also you expect the market, which the betting markets are pretty efficient, you expect that to revert towards the mean. And that's where I think Figueroa is the side. I think she's been a favorite in every one of her fights so far, right? What was her average close? Let me see what that. Yeah, close to 350, close to 400. So yeah, she should be 100%. I mean, the market thought she closed it close to an 80% implied win probability. So with 5 fights, at worst she should be is 4-1. She's 5-0. Okay, she's outperformed it a little bit, but not by all that much. This is the fight that's going to be so interesting. Spivak and Gane. Is there the overreaction to Gane having lost to Jones? Because look at it this way. I was talking with Kalikas, who was the first odds maker for MMA. And he's like, dude, this is right up your alley, right? He's like, if the Gane-Jones fight doesn't happen, this line's where Gane opened. Because Gane opened to minus 300 in this fight, and he got bet down. Now, he got bet down. Obviously, there's some recency bias to that. Jones walked across the octagon and fucking buried him, grabbed him by the throat and choked him out and like it was nothing. So obviously, your stock's going to drop, especially when you've just been winning as a favorite, and it appears at least you stepped up and lost. But that's not really the case, man. Because you look at his overall record, it's against opposition that won 80% of their fights. Like, he's had a tough schedule, unlike Spivak, who, again, he beats who he's supposed to. He's 6-1 as a favorite, very good. He's pretty much break even as an underdog. His win is probably right around, it's right around the average closing line, and it's against subpar opposition. Like, this is a big step up for Spivak's side. Now, obviously, he implements that ground game and he's able to control Gane. He wins this fight. But could he control Gane for 5 rounds? I don't think that's going to happen, man. I think eventually, you give me 25 minutes, you give Gane athletic guy like Gane 25 minutes, he gets to Spivak. He doesn't get to John Jones, but I think he gets to Spivak. Let's see. Oh, good. You guys are getting Ozdemir under. Let me see what I got. I bet them Ozdemir at under. Let me tell you what I bet. I got them down at minus 130 up to minus 150. So you're laying what, 75? If I was, here's what I would do. Like, we bet that. Like, I bet it like a 3% play. I would bet it as a 1%. Personally, like, that's how I would manage my risk off a move like that. So if you still like it, I would just lower my, because now if you're going further out on the risk curve, you're not laying 130, you're not laying 140. So if you go out further on the risk curve, you also want your return to increase. In this case, if that's not happening, your going out on the risk curve because you're laying more money, but you're not winning more for that. So you want to limit both sides of the coin. Since your return's going to be limited, your exposure wants to be limited as well. See how that works? If your return wasn't limited, then increase your exposure as well. But in this case, it has. It's up to 175. So it's okay. Doesn't mean we don't automatically have to pass. We don't have to fade it. We don't even have to ignore it. We can still, because I personally thought 2 out of 3 times it goes under, which is minus 200. So even at 175, I think you have an edge. It's just not as big of an edge as it was at minus 150, because at minus 150, if the break even is 2 out of 3 times, then that's 67%, because 2 out of 3 times is 67%. That's the break even. And at if I laid minus 150 even, I have a 7% edge. Minus 150, the implied win probability is 60%. So shit, if even at I don't have a 7% edge, but at 175, you still have a little bit of an edge. So that's all you do in that case, if you like to play, if you agree with it. Again, I wasn't on my radar as a play, and the guys I work with, I respect, they know me very well. I've worked with them for long enough that they know I'd never do that to them. Just put out their stuff that I didn't work on myself, especially, you know, with one of them that has a service themselves. 100, 200 share line. Yes, Steve. Yes, and I am continuing to look into it. I have someone that's actually sending in results based on different ways of bet sizing my plays. And it's a small sample size so far, so I want to change anything, obviously, but he's showing some spots where it may become more advantageous in the future for us to maybe flat bet certain percentage. Or again, right now, let me answer your question, the best way to do it. 100, 200 share lines up, 25, 50, and so on. So if I have to place more than my 25 point, okay. If I'm betting the favorite, I'm betting the win. So again, if I'm laying minus 200, like you saw I just did there, okay? If I'm laying a minus 200, I'm going to bet 1,000 to win 500. I'm adding in my vig. So if I'm betting the favorite at minus 200, and I want to win 0.25, you're actually betting 0.50 to win 0.25. You're adding in that vig. Again, I don't want to confuse you. The best way I can put this is this. On the dog, you just flat bet it. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. On the favorite, you bet to win that amount. So you're betting to win 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25, which forces you to add in the vig. For example, I like Dallas -8, -110, okay? It's a 4% play. That means I'm betting 1% of my bankroll. If I have a $10,000 bankroll, I would be betting 100, but no, I got to bet 110 to win 100. So I'd be betting 110 to win the 1%, not flat betting just the 100. Again, you do what's best for you. You could just flat bet. With this losing streak, you would have lost a lot less if you didn't add in the vig. But during a hot streak, it'd be different. See, that's the thing. Like until we have 2,000 bets tracked, 3,000 bets tracked, 4,000 bets tracked, this by far has produced the most profit for me, because it's done so through the ups, through the downs, through the whole roller coaster. And as you've seen, has produced a profit 7 of 8 years. As far as the just flat betting, you'd have done better over the last 6 weeks, maybe over the last 2 months. But over the long haul, you can't conclude that. So the best way to answer that, again, not to go to confuse or go long, but we flat bet on the dogs and we bet to win that amount on the favorites. So whatever the juice is, we add the juice in to win that percent. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. And remember, we've already established our units. We're not changing them every day, our bet size. We're not changing it every week. We're not changing it every month. You shouldn't have had to change it yet unless you've overbet, and then, you know, it makes things a lot harder than it needs to be. Volkan Ozdemir, minus 180. All right, it's good. That's good. They're on the Ozdemir side. I like the Ozdemir side too. Did that last fight end? I was just talking. Let me see. Then we'll wrap this up. Because at the end, you already know what we got. Yup, Ozdemir, baby. Ozdemir it is. Ozdemir. Let me get a little Ozdemir action in too. We got the under. Let's get the side in too, right? What do I get Ozdemir? Ozdemir 177. Ozdemir 180. What do you got? $180. I'll take the 177. All right. All right. Ozdemir, then that's it, right? Just 3 more fights after that. We already know we have the sharp side on the Moises. We're on Gan. And like I told you, also on Manan. That's also, they're all in the favorites, man, except for Moises, huh? That kind of day. Yeah, let's go Vulcan, baby, right? Let's go Vulcan. Let me check any college football, any MLB. Nope. Murray State. Game 309058. Murray State minus 27. Murray State minus 27. Again, those Division II shit. What sucks is that they usually do good long term, but the bad thing is a lot of volume. Like today, these guys probably bet 15 so far, and out of like the first 5, they lost all 5. That's the problem with that kind of volume and variance. Like they have huge edges on those Division II. You see the lines. They go under 50 and the game goes off at 45. Like the reason lines move 4 or 5 points on totals and even on sides is because historically they crush these. But you have to have bankroll because there's a lot of variance to volume betting. So it's kind of like card counting. Even though you have the edge, if you're underfunded, it means absolutely nothing. And like today, that's what I'm looking at. And I see there, boom, Lehigh, Villanova over, loses. Purdue, Fresno State, first quarter, loses. Marist, Georgetown under, loses. Arkansas State, second half, loses. Like, and those, again, tons of volume. They're the guys that are betting the Gardner-Webbs, Appalachian State's under, Bryant, UNLV over, Illinois State, Western Carolina, Charlotte, Merrimack. They have all these Division II, and they crush the line on every one. But again, you have to have the bankroll, more importantly, just the discipline to just fire and not even sweat the results, because that's exactly what it's like. You know, a lot of people want to move steam, want to be a runner, want to provide accounts, but there's that flip side of that too, where when it rains, it pours. All right. Did we even win or lose that last fight? It's not graded. It's FBS. Thank you, FBS. Gomez won. Thank you. Okay. Manon, no, 3% on Manon. 2% on Manon. Yeah, actually, no. Yeah, I'd even go 1% on Manon. I'd go 1% on Manon. Yeah, I think she's the right side. I think she wins. But just where this price is right now, yeah, I'd bet 1%. I mean, again, earlier in the week, she was laying at higher, so it's not like this is a bad time to bet her. But you know, laying 2-1 against Rose. We need Vulcan to get it done, man. He's cost me in the last couple fights too. That's why he's had supposedly got healthy for this one, got rest and all that. All positive going into this fight. But his recent, which he always got away the recent data heavier than the overall or even the early data, and it's not too pretty for Vulcan. That's the only reason. We didn't go nuts with it. Yeah, we'll watch this one and then shut it down. See if anything comes out for us. All right. Hopefully this goes this quick too, because we got the under, right? Let's go. Get this over with, Vulcan. Do your job. Do your freaking job. Let's go Vulcan, baby. Wow, some of these college football lines moved a lot from the openers. I can't believe people are still betting into these, like taking these numbers now that are just so bad, even if they win. Like, why would you do it? Why wouldn't you just wait till next week? Like I'm seeing now, people betting Colorado State. They're betting these numbers that are like so far gone. I guess whatever works, right? Wow, North Carolina's not up to 3 yet. Come on, that's not a good sign. I want to see you get to 3, Carolina. Yeah, it's Colorado State. It's down to 8 at Pinnacle, man. Like, you could have got 10 2 days ago. What am I talking about? You could have got 10 this morning. Yeah, this is the second. You could have got 10 this morning. Once they bumped it up to 10 grand, boom, 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 it got blasted. Now you're taking it at 8 now when it was 10 this morning. That's just a bad bet. Regardless what happens. Come on, Vulcan. Let's get this done and let's wrap it up. And next week it's on. Like I said, I was excited about this week's because I saw the change. Like you're going into last week, I was still like, Buck, this is still the trajectory, but you felt that shift. You kind of saw it with the NFL coming to college football, just everything starting to the market turn a little bit. And that's always a good sign. Let's go, Vulcan. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's a bad bet. And that's Kyle, exactly. Colorado, well, that's going to happen with totals, especially when totals move a lot. And with totals, there's also weather involved. And so with totals, that's going to happen. And especially week 1 totals that we get down early. But you can't avoid that. I mean, as long as for the most part, your early bets are beating the close, you're doing great. But that shouldn't scare you into waiting for closing numbers, because it's just something you're going to have to know going in. Sometimes you're going to have to eat it like that, but that's also why, you know, there's so many games where we have a so much better number than what it closes at. Come on, that's it, Vulcan. These guys throwing bombs. Keep throwing bombs. Vulcan with the takedown. That's it. Come on, mount him, baby. Mount him and get him out of there, Vulcan. That's it. Get him up against that cage. That's it. You guys are light heavyweights. Drop those hammers. You're a big boy. You're 205 pounds, probably 220 tonight. There you go. Drop that knee, dude. You had that knee perfect right in those ribs. That would have dropped them for you. Vulcan, you had him drop. Yeah, that dude's big, man. They're big boys. You don't want to eat one of his punches. Vulcan will go to sleep. We've seen that happen too many times. You just got to more tools in his tool belt. You could tell he's more technical, more skilled, but that dude's got some pop. That's the fear. Yeah, golden opportunity missed when he had him down. That's it. You got this dude hurt, bro. You got him hurt. Get him out of there, Vulcan. Drop those hammers. There you go. Get him hurt. There you go. Drop those hammers. Go, Vulcan. This rep wants to stop it. He's hoping to stop it. Give him a reason. Give him a reason. That's it. Keep dropping them bombs. Give him a reason to quit. Flatten him out. Flatten him out. Oh, he's got it in. He's got it in. There it is. The tap. Vulcan and under. All right. All right. There's one for the good guys. One for the good guys. Attaboy, Vulcan. Attaboy, Vulcan. Let's wait to the NFL next week, and with more college football, when these lines aren't up for 2 months, oh, the stuff we're going to have access to, the bets we're going to place, boys and girls, the bets we're going to be placing. This is going to be a lot of fun the next couple months. You picked the right time to join the train. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, exactly. So I'm more excited. I'm even more excited, Neil. I promise you. I've been waiting for this final 4 months all year. Not though, again, I like to downplay things so then we outperform. But what I mean is I'm real excited for everything that we're going to learn together because there's so much going on. Like, and having the live room, I never had that before where we could talk games and stuff. Like I said, this is your room. I work for you guys. So if you guys want to force me to be in here twice a week sometimes, or we're going to chill and watch a Sunday night game, a Monday night game together or something like that, we can do it. This is ours to do what we want. Again, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. Let me just look one more time, just in case, okay? Yeah, we're good. We know what we're cheering in the rest of the way, right? You guys cheering the dog next. Both favorites to close out the night. And not big, remember. Except we have our Gon's 3%, but that's it. And cheer them in. Stay the course. Stay the course. Bet size correctly. You've been through the worst of it. You deserve to get the benefits of it now. You've been, again, the capitulation was there. We all felt it. We all went through it. Now you're going to time to reap the positive of it, the benefits of it. And please bet size correctly. Don't chase, don't increase, don't try to get it back quickly. We will continue to profit. We will continue to add to our capital. It just takes some time. And after a bad run, you don't want to make mistakes. Again, I want to thank you guys for all your time. Wish you the best of luck ahead. Have a great day, great weekend. Oh, and yeah, again, if you're messing with these next UFC, I'm not seeing anything other sharp stuff come in. So if anything, you just sprinkle. The only thing we really have pending left, so you know, is the Gong in the main event. And then I have a small on Tiago and a small on Manon. Like those, I won 2 nickels. They're just going to let them ride more or less. So if you guys made any, keep that in your pocket. Don't even let it ride. Let's take that into next week, into tomorrow, into next day. Because like I said, we have so much coming up. You guys have a great day, great week. Enjoy times with your family. Love you. Be safe. We'll be right back next week to do damage. Have some fun. Let's go.